Biggie said he saw him locally here 12 or 13 years ago. I remember when he appeared, it was a surprise that he was at the Comedy Zone here. And our friend Chris Wiles, who is a comedian who was at that time like the setup guy at the Comedy Zone, called me before the show and he said, I can't tell you who's appearing here tonight, but you need to get over here because you've got a chance to meet somebody.
A comedy great?
A comedy great that you're really going to want to meet. He left me a message.
And?
I didn't go. I didn't trust
Did you return the call?
He called me. No, he called me 3 times. He called me 3. The first time he called, he said, I can't say a word about this, but somebody's appearing here tonight you're going to want to meet. He's that big an entertainer. And I blew it off. And then he called me about an hour before the show started and said, I am sitting backstage with an enormous entertainer, and he is the best of the best, and you need to get over here because you can meet him and you can see him and you're going to want to. And he hung up. And then he called me after the show and said, oh, man, you really blew it. You really blew it. You really missed something tonight.
And that comic was Norm Macdonald.
That comic was Norm Macdonald. That's right. And this was about 13 years ago. I didn't go. You know, it's one of those where sometimes you don't show up and you regret it. Norm Macdonald was
Biggie,
there.
do you remember, did he do new-ish material, stuff you'd seen before? Was he just kind of working out stuff?
It looked like, if I remember correctly, it was a little new because some of it popped up on a stand-up special later that I heard.
Testing out material.
Yes. And some was some stuff I'd heard before. But to me, if I recall, it wasn't even like his stand-up is so just, it's not like he even has a set.
Yeah.
I feel he's just one of those guys that just felt like he got up there and was just talking to
you. He did that beautifully, didn't he? Yeah. He was amazing with that kind of stuff. There's an interview that he did about 5 years ago that people are starting to talk about now. They're saying on this interview, he hinted that he had cancer and the way he was living with cancer. But, of course, now he died, and you look back at everything he did with a different...
Were there any clues?
Yeah, were there clues? And this was an interview. It's going up on. It's up on YouTube now from 2016 with Chris Hardwick, and he talked about having cancer.
They think it's so special when everyone gets cancer and dies. It's almost like the height of narcissism to think that you're going to be so brave as to talk about it, whereas all you're doing is just garnering sympathy for yourself. How is that brave? It seems cowardly to me. It seems much braver to me. Like I remember Richard Farnsworth was an old character actor, and he did a David Lynch movie called The Straight Story, riddled with cancer. No one knew it. His family didn't know it. He kept it from everyone. He did what they call a stuntman's death, which is you put a shotgun in your mouth and with your toe you pull the trigger. That to me is courageous. Like, you're not being a burden to your family. They know nothing about it, and then you're gone. Then if I had a specific ailment, and possibly I do, you don't know, but I would not talk about it.
And he did.
Wow.
He was right in the middle of it, and he had cancer. This was 5 years ago. He battled it 9 years and didn't tell anybody. Didn't tell a soul, which is really, I would think, hard to do. I mean, you've got to go for treatment all the time. How does your family not know you're going through something like that? How do your best friends not realize?
Yeah. See, there has to be at least, you would think there has to be a confidant
somebody.
I wonder if his son knew, because, his son...
How old is the son?
I don't know. They just said that he was survived by one son.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just surprised that I was like, did the son not even know? I didn't know Norm Macdonald had a son.
Mm-hmm. Just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, he died. The story about Reba McEntire, this is harrowing. Reba McEntire was taking a tour of a 100-year-old building in Oklahoma on Tuesday when a staircase collapsed, and she wasn't on the staircase.
This story, not in a long time have I really rolled my eyes so hard at a story.
Wait a minute, there's more. She wasn't on the staircase, and neither was anyone else.
So wait.
That's right.
Was anyone injured?
There was one minor injury.
Okay.
Someone near the staircase, I guess, apparently had a fragment hit them or something like that. That's all I can figure out on this.
At the time of the staircase collapse, Kelly, do you know, was Reba upstairs?
She was. She and her entourage had
How did she get down?
She climbed down a fire ladder from a second-story window.
Oh, the one that
That's right.
they're like outside the building.
That's right.
They had to call the fire department, who raced to the scene, might I add.
Correct.
Reba's in that building.
That's right.
And then some onlooker has minute or second-by-second photos of Reba coming to the window and crawling down the ladder.
She did it. Reba made it. Reba's okay. I want to stress again, neither Reba nor anyone else was near that staircase
Nope.
when it collapsed. Lucky, I guess. Just lucky we didn't lose a country music great. Reba says she's shaken, but she plans to keep her plans in place now for a future tour.
She will continue to use staircases in the future.
She will.
Thank God.
She has said that.
Because for some people, like we talked about this, if you go in the ocean, you see a movie named Jaws, you don't go back in the ocean anymore.
That's right.
Maybe she'll stop taking stairs.
Yesterday, like most entertainment outlets, we were talking about the movie Alligator, 1980. And we had a P1 email and say that there's a scene in the movie where this alligator that had feasted on dogs and had lived in the sewer for years got enormously large. There's a scene in the movie where the alligator is in a swimming pool and a kid at a birthday party jumps in the swimming pool. They turn the lights on and the alligator is revealed and it eats the little kid. Our listener said he couldn't go into a swimming pool for years after that. But even though he saw Jaws, he was able to go in the ocean. It's just a weird phobia he has of swimming pools, all because of the movie Alligator. And by the way, hundreds of people told me, you can watch that on YouTube. You can go watch the whole
I
movie.
lost count of the number of hardcore fans the movie Alligator has.
It's incredible.
It touched a nerve that I didn't know existed.
No, didn't know it was coming.
And people are saying, here's how to find it. And then they would say, wait, here's a better version.
That's right.
Here's a 1080p version
Go watch.
of Alligator on YouTube.
And media guy Craig, who's an expert on these things, says it's not that bad. It's they were having fun with it. It was in the wake of Jaws, so they did it, and it wasn't that bad. Now, if you think the Reba McEntire story was soft,
Reba cheating death.
wait till you hear about Chrissy Teagan. She's had body modification surgery.
No.
That's right, to take a little bit of fat off of her cheeks.
Wait. What?
That's right. That's right. She says she is really seeing great results. She went to Dr. Jason Diamond, a Beverly Hills facial plastic surgeon with a celebrity following. And she said, I had an armpit sucked out, which was probably the best thing I've done.
A what?
An armpit sucked out in 2017. And she recently went back to get her cheeks sucked out so that her cheekbones appear to be higher and she has better facial definition. And she says, I have really seen results.
I thought she was kind of an attractive. She's had a model face.
She's had breast implants first put in, then removed. She's had the armpit suck. I need to get that. I've thought about liposuction.
Armpit suck, is that's not the flabby part. That's your
I think it's on the
tricep.
side. Yeah, I think it's on the side, like where your chest is. I have that issue right around here. I don't like this little chest fat
Show
over
the
to the
camera.
side.
Yeah.
I have a little issue right here, right here. And I've considered liposuction for my love handles.
Oh, man.
But my mother told me not to.
Your mother?
My mother told me God made me the way the way he made me. And she said, look, you're never going to get rid of those love handles.
What about your mother figure, your current mother figure in your life?
She doesn't want anything. I didn't even tell her that. She'd be upset if I even told her that.
How did it come up with your mom, if you don't mind my asking, Kelly? Were you over a bowl of Fruit Loops with a side of pancakes and bacon?
She told me I was thick in the chest and I needed to stop eating so much because I was getting thick in the chest and she worried about my heart.
Fed you.
Yeah, and I said, well, I'm considering liposuction for my love handles. And she said, don't do it, baby. You don't need to go that far. Too drastic, is what she said. And my wife thinks I, try too much, work out too hard, do the very best I can.
Look, inevitably I'm going to take over this show, but I don't want you to...
Through age and attrition?
Yeah, I want you to do it. I want to take it over the natural way. I don't want to have to give some teary-eyed obituary because you died on the table getting liposuction sucked out.
Yeah. It sounds like Biggie prefers us to hand the keys to him.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah. Well, because I know you, you'll go somewhere where somebody will cut you a deal.
Ain't that the truth?
You'll get one of those backdoor doctors who's like, oh, yeah, I mean, what's a license?
Yeah, they pump cement in my
medical
butt.
license, whatever.
That's right. That's how it'll wind up working.
And this guy that Teagan goes to, I don't watch these shows on like the Bravo or whatever, the TLC networks, but I think I've heard that name before.
He had a Netflix show as well.
Okay.
Celebrities love him, apparently.
Yeah.
And so the latest she got was I never heard of that, of like
either
fat being sucked out of your cheeks.
Never knew.
And she was already an attractive woman.
She was a swimsuit model when she was in her 20s.
Yeah, but I mean, look at what people do to stay.
She's one that had her.
I was going to say something private. I can tell by his tone and his hands motions.
Is that the motion for labia?
No. She had
then
her.
Don't do this.
She had her.
Areola?
No. Anus.
Oh.
Bleached. Oh. She's one that had her. And her husband, John
Legend.
Is that his name, or is he like Legend?
No, that's his name.
Okay, all right. John Legend said, "You didn't need to do that. I'm the only one that ever sees it." Apparently he said he sees it during their lovemaking. And she goes, "Well, I did it for you." They were talking on some sort of red carpet event where he said that time, which is really nice.
It's the weirdest interview secret I've ever had.
Welcome to the annual Academy Awards. Oh, here's Chrissy Teagan and John Legend on anal bleaching.
And who are you wearing? Yeah. And who bleached your BH?
So who do you think will win Best Picture?
Yeah, I don't know. But you want to get a picture of this BH? Look at that.
It was it was a strange line. I thought it was a strange line of questioning. He said, "Who bleached your BH?" And she said, "Dr. Jason Diamond, who's on Netflix."
We've talked about this many times. We're certainly not blazing any new ground here, but Biggie and I are addicted to this show on Bravo, Below Deck Med.
Yes.
We call it, my wife and I call it Trash Boat. It's great, mindless TV. It's fabulously wealthy people getting knocked down, drag out, drunk, fighting with people on a yacht.
Yes.
And the crew of the yacht.
Yes.
Fighting and getting drunk and screwing one another.
Right. This season, chef's kiss to this season.
The best.
It's an excellent season.
It is truly an excellent season.
Excellent season.
Is there some anal bleaching going on?
It wouldn't shock me if half of the yes have been AB'd. But when you look at the promos for the other shows, like the Real Housewives, I've never watched those. But every single woman looks the same. There's no lines on the face.
There you are.
And the lips are enormous. And you know they're sitting on bleached BH.
That's what they're doing.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
I've never considered that. In fact, I have so much problem there anyway. Could that make a difference?
I don't think for you. I don't think you need to put bleach
I
back
think it's
there.
too risky.
You'd hear the screams from miles away.
You're right. You're right.
Bleach there?
No way. No way I could do it. I'm having an issue right now. I'm having to contort.
Is it supposed to smoke?
I'm telling you. That would be bad. And you're right. You need to be handed the keys to this program the old-fashioned way. You don't want me.
I don't want you.
No, that's Joan Rivers went out that way. Remember that? She was getting, and she had so many.
Was it a facial procedure?
Yeah, and she had so many plastic surgeries, but that's the way she left this earth, was on the table of the plastic surgery.
Was a shady doctor, right? Because he had all his stuff stripped and
he
sued
did something wrong.
So.
He did something wrong.
Her didn't sedate her properly or something like that. Yeah.
The daughter sued. That's right.